So Stalker 2, unsurprisingly, was officially delayed until 2023. However, they did release a new trailer, and we did learn some new details as well. In this video, we'll check out the new trailer, along with all the new details we've learned about Stalker 2 over the last year. Hey guys, this is Chris with B&B Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing awesome today. If this is your first time here, and you're interested in Stalker 2 and other hardcore games like the Callisto Protocol, etc., hit that subscribe button for more content. Now to start out with guys, let's check out the new trailer.
Last question, Dr. Dallin. Are you sure the perimeter surrounding the zone is really enough? If a powerful emission were to occur, we would...
Listen, the zone has remained stable for years. Besides, we didn't establish the most advanced institution in human history without first guaranteeing its safety. As the head of the Scientific Institute for Research of the Chernobyl area, or S.T.A.L.K.E.R for short, I believe the wonders that we will bring to the world far outweigh the potential risks.
How big are these risks exactly?
The zone reveals a whole new world. We can stick with the old one, fearing change. But tell me, do you want our descendants to remember us as cowards? Or as those who dared to venture forward to a new, better humanity?
Evacuated. I remind our listeners that a similar incident happened in our region quite recently, ruining homes and livelihoods. However, city officials urge people to stay calm, assuring them the situation is totally under control.
So along with the new trailer, we've also learned small little bits of detail about Stalker 2 over the last year here, and I'll put it in question form. So to start with, what exactly is the release date of Stalker 2? It's been moved back to 2023, so we don't have a first quarter 2023 or anything else, which under the circumstances of the conflict going on between Ukraine and Russia, definitely makes sense. Speaking of the conflict, how has it affected the development of Stalker 2? So if you're unfamiliar with the situation, GSC Game World is based in Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine. So when Russia started hostilities back on February 24th, it threw Stalker 2's development in complete disarray. In March, with the city under heavy bombardment, GSC Game World officially paused development of Stalker 2. In a video that had been intended to showcase the studio's mocap work, instead became a message stating how their priorities had shifted. In the video they said, "Now we're striving to help our employees and their families to survive," it declared. The game development, Stalker 2's development, has shifted to the sidelines. Another change that happened during that paused period of Stalker 2's development was they changed the name of Stalker 2 Harder Chernobyl to the Ukrainian spelling. Later in May of 2022, a community representative on Stalker 2's Discord said that development had resumed, saying that it continues and that the work is in progress. Now, in this timeline, back in March, there was a rumor that GSC Game World was actually moving their development studio to Prague in the Czech Republic. Now, I look for confirmation of this lately, and I haven't been able to verify whether that's true or not. In the developer diary, where they talk about how the situation is in Ukraine and how their development is going, they don't mention anything about it. So whether or not part of GSC Game World is in the Czech Republic now, I guess we'll find out down the road here. Now, one question people have been wondering about, because Stalker 2 has a relationship with Microsoft and it's going to be a console exclusive on the Xbox Series X and S, is it still going to be on PC? GSC Game World, they said yes, the Stalker series has always been on PC, but Stalker 2 is also a console launch exclusive on Xbox. And in that same vein, there has been rumors that the exclusivity deal between Microsoft and GSC Game World is only 3 months, so the possibility that Stalker 2 could be on PS5, I would say, is a very high probability. Another, I guess, controversy that happened, and this was in late winter, is that GSC Game World was talking about putting NFTs in Stalker 2. Well, anyways, on December 15, 2021, GSC Game World announced a tie-in with NFTs, a sort of blockchain auction for players to be able to get themselves scanned onto faces of NPCs or have access to unique items. Thankfully, the community outcry about this was so loud that GSC Game World basically removed the whole thing and said they're not going to do any NFTs or anything else with Stalker 2. Now, as far as what engine Stalker 2 is running on, previously Stalker 2 was being developed for Unreal Engine 4. It's now shifted to the hotly anticipated Unreal 5. So you might be wondering, is Stalker 2 going to have ray tracing and what resolution is it going to run at? According to the developers, that RTX support for Stalker 2 on Xbox Series X and S, and that it's going to run at 4K resolution on the Series X, which of course means that you can safely assume that the same features will come to PC. So along with this, GCS Game World has also released the PC requirements for Stalker 2. One interesting thing about the requirements is you're going to need an SSD to play Stalker 2, and it looks like 150 gigs of space. Now you might be wondering, why exactly do you have to have an SSD to play Stalker 2? According to the developers, Stalker 2 will officially be a seamless open world game. They said, for the first time in the series, the zone will be yours to explore as a post-apocalyptic open world. One of the biggest ones to date, they said. So essentially the reason you need the SSD, it sounds like there's not going to be any loading screens, or they're going to be very rare. Another upgrade to the Stalker series in Stalker 2 is to the A-Life system. One of the unique features of Stalker is that there's lots of simulation happening in the game. So basically, members of various human factions wander the zone, same as you, and there's all sorts of mutants and creatures creeping around as well. These different entities clash and interact, so basically they fight and kill each other, etc., without you even knowing it, and that affects the zone. Well, anyways, Stalker 2 is going to feature A-Life 2.0, and since the last Stalker, I believe, came out in 2010, that's 12 years ago, I'm assuming we're going to see some significant improvements in this system. So if you're new to Stalker, you're probably wondering, what is Stalker 2 about? On Stalker 2's website it says, bounty hunters delve deep into the zone, driven by its treasures and mysteries. Some of them are running from their past, others are blinded by money, and some are obsessed with finding the truth behind all the mysteries. As far as how the story is going to unfold in Stalker 2, GSC has said it's non-linear, so it's not just like a corridor game or a story game. You can go from quest to quest and move all over the place. They've also said that your choices will influence both short-term consequences and global outcomes. Now, that promise, not just for Stalker 2, but pretty much every single player game has been around since the 2000s, right? Halo and everything else. every game promises this, that, your choices are going to change the outcome. Whether or not Stalker 2 can pull that off, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, if you're new to the Stalker franchise, you're probably wondering, do you need to play the other Stalker games before you play Stalker 2? According to GSC Game World, they said, Stalker 2 is a standalone project that can be enjoyed on its own. However, at the same time, we do recommend completing the previous games for the maximum level of immersion. Now finally, you're probably wondering about modding support. Will it be in Stalker 2? According to GSC Game World, they said, we're fully committed to make modding as simple as possible on day one. Now, this was before, of course, the delays and the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, so whether or not modding is going to be ready to go on day one, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And if you're on Xbox like myself, you're probably wondering, are we going to get mods on Xbox? The developers have not promised we will, but they have been looking at it. So what do you guys think of Stalker 2? Are you excited to play this game? Are you a little bummed out we're going to have to wait a little bit longer? What are you most excited about with Stalker 2? Let me know in the comments below. For me, Stalker 2, just like Dying Light 2, has a big mountain to climb. Both of these franchises have a loyal, passionate fan base, but also have had extended periods between the last game. I believe the last Stalker 2 expansion came out in 2010, so over 12 years ago. Now on top of that, Stalker 2 is being partially developed. We don't know whether or not GSC has moved to Prague, or whether or not they're kind of trying to develop in Ukraine. I guess we're going to find out like 5 years after the game comes out, because like I said, there's so much propaganda, so much stuff going on that we really don't know what the truth is. Either way, under the circumstances, I think any delay is completely understandable. Hopefully, just like Techland pulled off Dying Light 2 with a kind of a rocky development period, GSC Game World can pull off the incredible and give us a great game.